to HG. Today I have another episode of Napoleon Total War, an online pitched battle. Today I am not playing as Russia, not like my other match. I'm playing as Austria, but we have a very unlikely alliance facing off against England and the Ottoman Empire. This is a 3 versus 3. This is actually going to be a bit of a long one, so grab some snacks. I'm gonna be cutting out some parts of the battle because it kind of slows down for a good portion of it. And if you didn't watch my last Napoleon Total War video, we're going to employ a similar strategy to this match, where I'm going to hold on the right flank while the French and Russian player take on the Ottoman Empire. However, things don't quite play out that way, and we play to the end of the clock. So the ending is not going to be as what you might think it is, or it's not going to end the way you might think it will end, given what transpires during the match. But without further ado, let's get started, because it's a long match anyway, and I just want to show you and not tell it to you, right? So today I'm bringing Austria. I'm bringing some Hungarian Fusiliers, some German Fusiliers, some Grenadiers, light infantry, 1 cannon. France is bringing some Cheval, and some Lancers. They're also bringing some Polish Legion, Swiss Foot. Of course, the Old Guard. Some Voltigeurs. Russia is bringing some 12-pounder, some Musketeers, Russian Jaegers, some militiamen, Musketeers. I'm not sure if they actually are militia, but they are kind of like the lower tier Russian troops here. Some Dragoons, more Musketeers, and some Life Guard foot. The Ottoman players bringing some Janissaries, some light infantry, the jetted infantry, a 9-pounder, and some horse. Now the English players bringing some Highland foot, some light foot, King German legions. As you can see, though, the second English player is closer to the Ottoman Empire here, and this is a large map. I think it's a map for like 3 versus 3. Now, the other British player, they're going to be moving up to this hill here, and they're going to be holding it for the most part. And they're bringing some Highland foot, some King German Legion, some light foot. As for their only 6-pounder horse artillery, some Coldstream Guard, and some foot guard. Yeah, so that's the army comps. So even though I'm still going to be holding this right flank here, I decided to move up like about half of my troops here to keep them from trying to outflank me anywhere. And if they did push here, then I would fall back to this hill, and I would have the advantage of the hill. But it didn't quite play out that way. Now I'm going to fast forward here because this is a long match and things transpire rather. Alrighty, just a quick update here. The French army has moved more towards the center left because they're planning on taking the Ottoman Empire. However, the Russian player is taking a slower approach to this attack. We have a couple of units of Russian musketeers. Alright, and not much has changed on my front. As I mentioned before, the British have held up on this hill. They're going to be using their artillery to harass my men. However, I beat them to it. I love the 12-pounder foot artillery. Their reach is insane, but I love it. Let's watch this. Oh yeah. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna fast forward some more. Alright. Now we've jumped ahead. It looks like the Ottoman Empire is securing this bridge, preventing them to cross the bridge here. And this is kind of a death trap here, because they could easily set up along here and shoot at you as they're coming in. Now there is a land bridge here, and I think there's another one on this side. So they're controlling the access points to this side of the map, right? Which is good, because that would make them to come to, make us come to them. Currently, Russia is only sending some lights. Now, as I mentioned, this is a rather slow start, but it's got an awesome ending. A very epic ending. I love it. Alrighty, France is moving up some Swiss foot and Polish legion to the center. And they're moving rather quickly because they don't want the English player to have the element of, well, I wouldn't say the element of surprise, but they don't want to have the foothold here. They want to keep them from advancing. However, the Russian player is still not moving his army in support. I'm not sure what's going on, but I guess this is a good example of making sure that you're moving in unison with your teammates in Total War, right? Now, in terms of the right flank, my troops are just getting harassed, but we're finally about to get some action here in the center of the map. The French player is setting up to fire its line. It's going to get the first volley.
Following orders.
Ooh, and they're going up against the higher tier troops right here. Now Britain is closing the distance. Coldstream God. Ooh. The morale is already dropping for these Swiss foot. It's not looking good. And these Polish legion are kind of hidden behind this brush. Now this foot guard is kind of shooting into the hill here, which is why I think he's trying to maneuver them into a position that has a clear line of sight. However, now we have some Ottoman cavalry moving into position here. Now, I'm not sure why the Ottoman Empire decided to go this way, because these units can form square, as you can see. If I was the Ottoman player, I would have sent them over to these lights, because it doesn't seem like the Russian player is paying attention currently. And they're getting hit hard. But now we have the French cavalry protecting the flanks of this small French force. Oh. Some Polish lancers are they're not doing so well against this this unit of Coldstream Guards. Alright, France is not doing so bad here, but they are outnumbered by the English troops here, and the range is not comparable. The British lights, they just tore up this line infantry. Now, if it was me, I would have moved this line a little bit more in this fashion here. So that way it forces them to get closer, because then they wouldn't have the distance, you know. When it comes to the lights, you want to close the distance so that way they don't have the advantage. Because at closer ranges, the light infantry is not going to be able to hold out for long. Now, as you can see, there's not much going on the right flank. France is moving up some more reserves. However, because the Russian player is not paying attention here, the Ottoman Empire is starting to move its troops towards the middle of the map. And you know, this is not ideal for our team here. And these cannons are not in the ideal position either, because they're not really doing much. And you also risk of getting friendly fire here. However, that's not to say that, you know, Russia is not going to end up doing anything, because they do, you know, carry their own towards the later of the match. However, we got some more French troops breaking. At this point, since it seems like we have the English committing to an attack here while they're still holding on this left flank, perhaps it would have been better to move the line infantry up on this hill, bring the lights down here and have them attack them and force them to cross. Because if you're pushing this far out without having the support of the Russian troops, then what's going on here is that they're just chipping away at you while your army's getting weak, and then the Russians are not doing much. However, had they advanced with France, they could have set up along here to prevent any kind of reinforcements from the Ottoman Empire. They could have pushed harder, hold them here, and had the Russian troops advanced through this land bridge, they could have swung around and take Britain from behind. However, France has won this small engagement here, and is now moving its line infantry to engage the British near this land bridge. Now, at this point, I believe, well, Britain has not yet sent over reinforcements, but they will soon send over reinforcements, I think, as things begin to heat up here. That's kind of like a preview. So at this point, the French player is basically taking casualties from both the Ottoman and the British empires. There's two fronts for the French to you know, guard, and you know, Russia is finally starting to move its line infantry in support of the French player. But I don't think this was fast enough. At this point, I would try to focus on one team, on one enemy player. What I would have done probably was move my troops across here, maybe push a little bit more this way, and just hold the Ottoman Empire at bay as the Russians come over to support. Now we have some line infantry firing at the Ottomans, but no, this is bad. One unit of Jaeger are shooting at the backs of another Jaeger. That's ideally you would want them to be in a straight line, because you know friendly fire does happen. Yeah, this is all bad here. However, there's kind of like a staring match going on this right French flank. However, we do have some more Ottomans breaking. This is good because, you know, France is doing its work. It's you know, it's getting to work. However, these lights are caught out in the open, and we have some I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, but some Ottoman cavalry. They're chasing them down, and these Russian troops are not getting there fast enough. Oh no! Friendly fire. He needs to move this 12-pounder up to this ridge right here. I think that would be better. As you can see, there's still nothing going on the right flank. However, the French player has its lights taking on the English here, which is good. Some Voltigeurs. I wonder if they used their stakes already. Not sure. Yes, this is good. Yeah, this is ideal. This is what you want right here. Especially when they're standing like this, it makes them a prime target. Because when they're spread out, they're more likely to miss. But he's just right for the picking here. Yes, we have some more Ottomans breaking. Some Janissaries. Wait, they're Janissaries, right? Oh no, jetted infantry. Some musketeers moving up. They have low morale though. The Ottoman Empire is not out of the fight yet though. The Russians are arriving. Alright, now we got some action going on here. I moved up my lights here to take on some of their lights. This was sort of to slow down any kind of reinforcements heading over to the fight against the French. However, there's going to be a cavalry charge here that's not conducive to my efforts. We got some Landwehr getting into position here. These Austrians can't run faster. However, I have some Hungarian hussars here. This was my fault right here. I did not keep my horse close enough. I left my lights too far out into the open area. I basically gave them my lights, right? So at this point, I decided to move back my my troops. Since I'm in a defensive posture, I'm not trying to get into a full-on attack mode here. I do have some Landschützen. You know, they're breaking. My cavalry is trying to hold off their cavalry, but this is not going well so far on this side. Let's see what's going on over here. Oh, they're still at it with the lights. The Ottoman Empire has retreated because Russia has now come in support. These dragoons are just causing more trouble. However, surprisingly, my landwehr are doing pretty well right now. Now that I didn't necessarily want to cause friendly casualties here, but I didn't want their cavalry to peel off and attack my Landschützen. However, I did attack their Heinlein foot to keep them from advancing onto my landwehr. My cavalry broke, and I think that's the last I see of them. And out of the bush comes the Highland foot. These Highland foot, they're low in morale. Oh, my landwehr are breaking. However, at this point, I decided to rush my landwehr to take on those lights, because I think lights are a bit of a greater threat at this point. And they're just going to have to duke it out at this point. However, we got some breaking on the French side. One unit of lights have broken. So this side of the match has gone to like a stalemate. This is the closest thing to any action that's happening on my side. They broke both units of my landwehr. I peeled off a couple units of German Fusiliers to support my lights here. No, I'm not sure. Yeah, they're 6-pounder horsefoot artillery. They're still giving me some trouble. However, I did manage to take out 2 of their cannons, so that's good. Eventually, I'll just leave it at that for now. Alright, so we're kind of like at a stalemate at this point. Now the French light infantry is retreating at this point because of some British cavalry, some lifeguards. However, he dare not pursue because he knows he's got a bunch of line infantry waiting for him. Now, I think it is at this point that the other British player is... No, they're still holding here. This is basically a slow cannon match. However, I did move my Fusiliers onto this little hill here to protect them from cannon fire. There we go. Yes, at this point they've decided to send over reinforcements. Seeing this, I was kind of concerned because my the French here, they're dwindling in numbers. The Russian army is still kind of at full strength. Oh, well, we got some action over here happening between the Russian player and the Ottoman Empire. Not in the best position here, but he is reforming up the lines. You're gonna get some friendly fire here. Oh, we got a jetted infantry charge. against its neighbors, Russian Empire. Oh no. These musketeers are about to... Oh! That was a good charge here by the Ottoman player. And here's some reinforcements by the Russian player. The center's still in a stalemate. The far right flank is still in a stalemate. Oh, the Russians are holding, despite the fact that their Ottoman cavalry is just chewing them up here. Oh, the Russian musketeers are breaking. Oh, they're not in the best position right now. The Russian dragoons are supporting this fleeing lifeguard foot. Oh, this lifeguard foot too. Oof. 74 men left in this unit. However, we do have some Ottomans breaking, and their cavalry is still causing havoc. These Russian line infantry, they're in a good position to attack here because they're going to be shooting at the backs of the Ottomans. However, there is some friendly fire happening here. And we have some Janissaries getting ready to attack. They are a melee unit only. This is... I don't know if that would be a good idea for the... Oh, you know what? I see what they're doing. Yeah, so the Ottoman player, they're trying to slow down this group of troops here. And if they can bring up their Janissaries and light infantry, they can start picking them off and cut them off from the main army. They're far away from the main line infantry here. Alright, now as you can see, the other remaining English player decided to send over its reinforcements, and me not moving fast enough let this happen, and we're gonna pay for it later. As you can see, I still have my troops waiting here for no apparent reason. And I think what happened here is this, I was kind of like doubting myself a little bit because I was so far away from any kind of support. I didn't want to put myself into a compromising position. Well, I messed up. I should have moved my troops up here a little bit longer, so that way once they were moving across this land bridge, I could have used this force here to choke them up here and to keep them in place while my remaining reserves came up here and attacked them, and to keep them from getting into the center. Unfortunately, hindsight is 20/20, and you know, I ended up doing what I ended up doing, and the French players are going to pay for it right now. As you can see, they're not slowing down to get into a line battle. They're sending in their German light infantry here. I mean, King German Legion foot. And they're not wasting time. And then the French player is sending in its old guard, trying to break the English lines before the rest of the English units get here. The British, forgive me, the British, that's what I meant to say. Now we got some French cavalry in support. However, they weren't fast enough since the foot guards were able to form into square. And they gotta be careful here too, because they have stakes. If I was him, I would just pull out the cheval out of there. Now the French lines are crumbling. France only has like a couple, like 4 or 5 units left. These old guard and Polish Legion are coming together. They're still He needs to pull out his cavalry though. They're not in a good position here. As you can see, I'm trying to rush over my troops across, and I think by the time they get there, they get tired. But if I'm able to push behind them here, maybe the Russian player can hold him, and then it would be like a pincer move, attacking from both sides against the English. I did send over a couple of units because I was seeing that Russia wasn't really participating much on this right flank, because I think he was focused too much on this left flank here, which in the grand scheme of things, while he has, you know, a couple of units in jeopardy here, the most important part is this right here. Had he moved his troops up to support the French player, I think we could have pulled off a pincer move here. I could have pushed here really hard while they held right here like a rock. Well, at least what would have been nice if the French player held here, maybe supporting the Russians, supporting with a couple of units, while the rest of the Russian infantry held off the Ottoman Empire. But as you can see, they're now moving into position, and this is, you know, they're taking advantage of the fact that France is depleted, basically, only down to a handful of units. Now Russia is finally starting to get into the fight. However, they're not in a good position. I think they're trying to reform here. My army is slowly getting there, but I'm trying not to tire them out because, well, they have to run, you know. I don't think I was moving fast enough, and I needed them to move quickly. As you can see, I didn't want to attack the British here without the support of my lights, so I moved up my lights. And Russia was static. They were static most of this game, and you know, it's probably because he had to micro. We got the French doing what they can here to protect the Russian light infantry, going up against some Jeddah and Janissaries. They're pulling away now. Now Russia here is out of position, and they're just gonna have to deal with the might of the British army here. However, I'm still moving up my troops, and it's taking a long time since they had to traverse so much land just to get there. Now at this point, the British have controlled the center. Russia is starting to finally reform his lines. A little bit too late though. And you know, I'm not trying to be hard on the Russian player, but you know, when it comes to, I'm a little bit competitive when it comes to these matches, and you know, I'm not gonna give him a hard time. I've made many mistakes when I first started playing. I don't know the experience level of this player, but you know, one could always stand to learn something from watching these replays, I think, strategically. But as we can see, Russia is starting to retreat now. As you can see, my troops are, you know, they're tired. Some of them are. Yeah, my lights are tired. My line infantry, they're walking, but they're fresh. My hope is to get here just in time so that they have to micro both of their flanks here. And these militia troops are getting picked off by the British lights. Russia is now caught in the open. Some lifeguard foot. They're getting surrounded by some Ottomans. Now Russia is pulling back to their cannon and their general, but I'm not sure if that's the best strategy. I think at this point I've told him to pull back to the city, but he was sort of non-responsive. So what I would have done if I was a Russian player, I would have pulled back into the city so we can use the city as kind of a defensive structure. Now at this point, I moved back some of my troops because I figured that I would hold here while the Russian player gets to this point, and then we could force them to come to us across this area, and then we could use our lights to attack them as they cross. I think the onus was on them to make sure that we were defeated in order to win. And if we were able to hold out, if one is able to hold out before the time runs out, then you can win, right? But unfortunately, the Russian player is not moving fast enough. But however, my troops are now engaged in combat against the British, and my troops are going to get easily overwhelmed here because I'm going up against basically a whole British army that's healthy. Going up against some Highland foot. Well, this is a good situation for me because there's probably a lot of friendly fire happening right now. There's a keen German legion breaking. Thankfully, I won't have to deal with that. However, my lights are dealing a lot of casualties. Some of my Jaegers are. However, I'm trying to get as much use of them as I can. My Landschützen, they're still hanging in there. My German Fusiliers are doing the best they can. Oh man, yeah, my lights are breaking. There's just too much British firepower here. Alright, so I've now finally moved up my Hungarian Fusiliers, my higher tier troops here. They're not close enough to attack these lights because they're kind of out of range. Russia's getting caught off guard here. They lost their cannon. Russia is having a tough time right now. The French general is still around, trying to give my troops support. I pulled back a little bit to reform my lines. I had a couple of units here that were taking their time getting to the fight. Yeah, they're using canister shot right now. Yeah, at this point, my position here was not about being able to, take them on head on. I'm just trying to buy time to make sure that the Russian player gets here as fast as possible. But as you can see, the Ottoman Empire is pushing hard on Russia. And as long as I have Britain here and not pushing on my left flank, then that's good. And I'm just trying to use my cannon, which is stationed across the map here on this hill, doing their best to support my troops here. Oh yeah, love the sounds of cannons. Doing my best to shoot at these Highland foot because they're bunched up. I can get myself quite a few kills there. I think at this point I was trying to snipe out the general. I figured we could have used as much help as possible, but he gets out of my range here. Now France is sending in its general staff, but it's too late. The German Legion foot formed square before you can get there. Okay, so now Russia has some proper lines here, at least partially. But at this point, I was pleading with the Russian player to fall back. The closer we are together, the better we can defend against the allies. I'll refer to them. And now, as you can see, my troops are they're just having a tough time. They're very depleted on this front. Now, at this point, I don't expect my troops here to survive, but what I'm trying to do is to maximize their ability to kill the enemy here. Now, as much as I hate having my lights out in the open like this, at least a part of this strategy was try to get as many kills as I can, but have them waste their ammo on my lights. And now these German Fusiliers are fighting some healthy units of Highland Foot. Now, as you can see, my lines here have gone back and forth. I'm just trying to prolong the inevitable. That is the loss of my troops. Now, at this point, I decided to, maybe in the hopes of breaking the center here and getting rid of their cannons, I just sent in a charge. And this was kind of a waste, but I felt like we weren't getting any progress, and we needed something to, you know, break their lines and cause some havoc. Unfortunately, their morale was so low that they break before even reaching the British lines here. Oh, that was a nasty shot. They're just breaking right before. However, yes, we got the Emperor's own. However, there are the only units to reach within a soon break. Now, that wasn't ideal, but oh, I got my grenadiers throwing some grenades. Now, at this point, I was like, you know what? No, it's probably best just to pull back my troops here. My German Fusiliers, they're still holding out. They're not going to make it. I got some lights back there, but they won't be around for long, and now they're breaking. Yeah, so at this point, I decided to tell my last 3 remaining healthy infantry units to pull back. And I think I was telling Russia to pull back also to this land bridge just behind here. However, they're not moving fast enough, and they're just getting shot in the back here. I love the way these grenadiers look. Colors. The Czech regiment. But they look pretty awesome with those white suits. They're probably hella dirty right now, but you know, that's what happens in warfare, I guess. Now I got these couple units who are still around, but oh no. I think that was either the French or the Russian general who died. Yeah, it's the Russian general. Ugh. Now at this point, it's basically a general retreat. I'm trying to get my troops over to this side of the bridge. I got some some line infantry here who broke, but I didn't see that they were, you know, they were routing, but they came back. I wasn't fast enough, and I think that their cavalry ends up cleaning them up. Now my men are still moving, and as you can see, the British player is starting to move up its troops. Now they're pushing hard, real hard. But I'm trying to do my best to get my men across this bridge. It's such a cool view. I don't know if they would actually fit, like if this was real life, but it's a video game, so it's alright. Alright, so as you can see, Russia is now just full on retreating. Now at this point, this is all I have left of my army. However, with the support of my 12-pound, I think I was able to hold off any kind of advance across this bridge for now. Russia is still in the retreat. Now at this point I was telling myself, okay, I need to use my men as much as I can, like in a way that maximizes enemy casualties. I know at this point that there's no way that we can win. There's just too many enemy units and we're all that's left, and as you can see, we're just down to a handful of men. However, I was able to get off a few kills here using some canister shots long enough, thankfully. Some foot guard. Anything I can do to limit their numbers, you know. Now Russia is still running for their lives. They're winded, but they're not tired yet, so that's good. And the Ottoman Empire still has a ton of units in there. You know, they're slowly moving up. Both British generals are still alive. I guess they're keeping this force in reserve. They have 3 units here. They probably think they can take us with that. Now there is this damn unit of lifeguards, and I wish I had some cavalry. I mean, I could use my general staff, but they're not so much of a cavalry unit. Alright, so the Russians are crossing this land bridge. At this point, I decided to move my grenadiers on the side of this cliff here, because if they were to advance across this bridge, the Hungarian grenadiers would have a clear line to shoot. And I moved my other grenadier unit close to my 12-pounder, because I know that that's what they're going to be trying to use their cavalry here. Sorry guys, I'm a little bit slow because you know, I've already done a couple of recordings, and you know, I've been sitting here for a couple hours, so just bear with me. But things are about to get good, trust me. Now I moved over my Czech regiment to help to support my Russian partner here. Now Ottoman Empire doesn't have their full force here, but they have quite a few of troops here, right? But as you can see, the timer is down to 8 minutes left. Now I don't know about you, but the sense of urgency and confidence coming from the British player is overwhelming, right? They think they have this in the bag, but as you will soon see, things are not going to turn out the way they think. Yeah, so now we're just forcing them to come to us, but they're going to be taking on some serious casualties. Now I'm just, you know, they're biding their time. We're biding our time here. Okay, now things have slowed down a little bit. Alrighty, now as you can see, the British players are starting to move up their infantry. Ah, yes, and the pesky little cavalry unit going up in our rear. I did not act fast enough here because I didn't see them. They was focused too much over here, but they are going to take up my cannon, the one weapon that could have helped us, you know, protect this bridge. So now as you can see, the Ottoman Empire took this opportunity. Their timing was perfect because, you know, my intention is taken up here, but I've resigned myself to the fact that I'm probably going to lose my general. I'm going to lose my cannons. However, if I keep my grenadiers close, then I could, you know, hopefully take them out before their cavalry moves on to my other units. Now, my Czech regiment is like in a good fighting position here. They have the high ground, they're shooting them across, they're not being shot back as much. However, now we have the British troops rushing the bridge. Now at this point, I told my grenadiers are like, not one more step. Yeah, my general had just died, I think. Yeah. I was able to throw some grenades, and this is where things get epic. As you can see, Russia is dealing with the Ottomans. However, I still got 2 units of grenadier and the Czech regiment who's holding its own against the Ottomans. This grenadier unit is just telling these British to F off. However, now my grenadiers are ready to take the fight to the enemy, but they got a little surprise. Oh yeah. Oh, they've dropped their morale so low. This is amazing. Now, I am going to show you my side of this because I thought it was awesome. There's going to be more that's going to happen over there, but just wait. Oh yeah. I broke 3 units of British infantry here with 2 units of grenadiers, and they're still fighting it out. They have decent morale, but now we have another unit of Highland Foot coming in to support. I've completely broken their advance here. Now the British are starting to move over some more of their troops across the land bridge in the hopes of surrounding us on this flank. However, my Czech regiment is still holding up against these grenadiers. My men, even without their general, are still holding on. My grenadiers are still fighting to the bitter end. We killed the enemy general. My 2 units of grenadiers are holding on for dear life. Oh yes, and my Czech regiment, they were able to repel a grenadier attack. Now the Russian troops are fighting. They're surrounded, but they're fighting and they have good morale. My Czech regiment still holding the line, firing off probably what is the last of their rounds, breaking another unit of Ottomans. My grenadiers are still fighting. Still fighting. They got 41, 49. Now their morale is low, but I'm not giving up yet. As you can see, the timer is running out with only 1 minute 42 seconds left, and they're attacking some light foot here, but with some pathfinding issues. And we break their general. My Czech regiment is still holding against some Ottoman legs. The Russian player, with 2 units left, they're still holding. We just have to beat the clock here. Now it's coming down to the bitter end. My grenadiers are attacking this light infantry. However, they're supported by some 9-pound foot artillery. I don't know how they're still hanging on. And I break the light foot, and then they move on to this 9-pound foot artillery. The Russian player is still holding. My Czech regiment is still holding. Oh, and the morale is up. I have my grenadier unit that just finally broke, but they're still fighting. My Czech regiment. Only 30 seconds left. Will they be able to break us in time? This Czech regiment is not giving up. 46 yet. 46 left. And their cannons are broken. Now I'm rushing over my grenadiers to harass the flank of these troops. Now my Czech regiment is still holding the line. They have lost so many friends in this attack, but they're still holding. The Russian player is still holding. and the match has come down to a draw. Oh man, what an exciting end to a very dull beginning of a match. That was awesome. Now, as you can see, I didn't get as many kills as my counterparts. France got quite a few kills. The British, obviously, and the Ottoman Empire, they were able to get quite a few. More than us as a team, for sure. But yeah, if you stuck around this long, I hope you enjoyed the match. I know it started off a little bit slow, but it had a pretty good ending. Yeah, I'll be making more Napoleon Total War videos as time goes on, and keep an eye out for that. But until then, see you next time.